Have you ever wondered, what is it like to publish a book? Well, today, I'm gonna tell you. Hi, I'm Keilah Jude. I am a YA romantasy author, and today I'm gonna tell you 5 things that went really well publishing my first book, and then 5 things that didn't go very well. One thing that went really well was PR boxes. I am so fortunate that I had a little bit of an advantage because I am a book content creator. So I'm on Book Talk, Bookstagram, BookTube, and I have all of these friends that are also in the same community as I am. So I was able to do like a Google Docs form, and I just had my friends sign up. I would just make little videos letting them know, hey, this is what my book's about. It's YA romantasy. It's called The Snow Queen's Heir. I'm so excited because it's got the tropes enemies to lovers and forbidden love, and it also has found family. If you're into this, then here's how you can sign up. So they'd go to the link in my bio, they'd sign up, and I had so many people sign up for PR boxes. This created so much positive buzz. I think the vast majority of my book sales probably was coming from these PR boxes and people reviewing it and posting about it. So I've had so much buzz. Like if you type in The Snow Queen's Heir by Keilah Jude on like Instagram, TikTok, anywhere really, there's so much content that pops up, and I'm just so thankful for these PR boxes. So this was definitely one of my biggest wins, was the PR boxes. The other thing that was one of my biggest wins was NetGalley. So I also have a little bit of a unique story because I used to be a publicist at a traditional publishing house. And so I actually have a lot of experience already with approving NetGalley. If you don't know what that is, it is an advanced reader copy site. So this is where people can go online. They can, in exchange for a free, honest review, they will read your book before it releases. So you get something, they get something, everybody wins, right? So I already have a lot of experience for several authors approving things. So NetGalley was great because it gave me a lot of early reviews, and I already was pretty comfortable with it, and I'd already used it. And so that was pretty fun. Another big win in my publishing journey is I used Ingram Spark, which if you don't know what that is, you can use them and they will open up the door, whether it's libraries, bookstores, or generally anywhere books are sold. If you use Ingram Spark, then you can get your book into anything. So actually, I just found out, I'm so excited, but Target picked up my book online and nobody told me, I just found it. I was like, this is so cool, because Target's a little pickier. So I was really excited. I was like jumping up and down because I was just really excited. But yeah, my book is sold generally anywhere online. Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, locally here in Illinois, Anderson's Bookshop. You can find it basically anywhere, in any bookstore. I just talked to 2 indie book owners today where I live here in the Chicago suburbs, and it was great because, you know, we are talking about potentially doing something this summer, and yeah, my book's available to any bookstore that wants to purchase it. So it's just like this really incredible thing. Another huge win is I am so thankful for the cover designer that I hired. I have a cover designer and I can put the cover up on the screen, but it is such a beautiful cover. Everywhere I go, I'm always getting compliments on the cover, and honestly, it is such a huge win for me to be able to just feel really comfortable with the art and the cover and just to feel really confident. So I'm so thankful for that. And coming at number 5, one of the biggest wins that I had is pre-orders. Now, I don't know whether you're a reader or you're a fellow writer, but what I want to say about this is you should strongly consider pre-orders if you are a writer. And here's where I'm coming from. So I am an indie author, so I recognize that there's a little bit of nuance with this. However, I do want to say that coming from a traditional publishing background, I knew how important pre-orders are. So if you ever want to hit New York Times or any of these big seller lists, then you need to do pre-orders. The reason being is you have to get a certain amount of sales in 1 week in order to qualify. Now, obviously I'm an indie author, so I wasn't like having dreams that are, you know, bigger than the moons and the stars, but I knew that pre-orders are definitely a big way to generate buzz, hit the algorithm, and just try to move along in that process. So I decided I'm gonna do pre-orders, and I was really happy with my pre-orders. It felt like pretty successful to me I did have a goal. I hit my goal, which was very exciting. One of the most exciting things that I was so genuinely excited for is on Amazon, I hit number 1 within my category for new releases. And it is so cool for marketing to be able to say, hey, we hit number 1 within our category on Amazon. So, and that was all thanks to pre-orders, because what ended up happening is all of them connected at once for the pre-order ebook. And so it's kind of spiked the algorithm a little bit, you know? So it was just really, really cool. I was really excited, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Okay, so time for the not so easy parts of publishing, at least for me. Number one, the first thing was I had like a terrible experience with the first situation with my first copy editor. So I hired them, I paid my deposit, everything seemed fine until they missed the deadline. And then, you know, life happens, we're all human. So they let me know they just need a little bit of an extension, 1 more week. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then they let me know again that they need another extension, another week. I was like, yeah, not a problem. You know, we're all humans, we're all busy, things pop up. And so then it turned into several months of an extension, and I started to get a little nervous because I was like, hey, like, is everything okay? And then it was just like radio silence, and I was like, uh-oh. So like I started looking on like their review sites, and other authors were having the same experience, reporting that like she's kind of like disappearing. And, you know, so I got nervous. I was like, uh-oh, like, I don't know, is everything okay? I hope everything's okay, because again, you know, like, we're all humans, things pop up, and you want to be kind, because were the roles ever reversed, like, I would want somebody to be understanding towards me. So anyway, after about like, I think it was maybe 2 months, she did come in, she apologized profusely, told me she's so sorry, and, you know, she's just working and things have just gotten crazy. I was like, it's totally fine, no worries. And then I think another 2 months went by, maybe it was 3 months, and I just was emailing again, like, hey, like, are you there? Is everything going okay? And I got ghosted. You know, I never heard from her. So I think I waited like another 6 weeks or so. And ultimately, by the time it was all said and done, I think we were past like 7 or 8 months past the original deadline. So that was one thing that was shocking to me, because I come from like, I have a degree in literature. I went into a traditional publishing background. And so, you know, people generally meet their deadlines, and if they can't, they can't, but they'll let you know. And so I was just kind of like shocked at, you know, it's a freelancer, so I guess they can do whatever they want. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I hope she's okay. I wish her well, but it's also just like, I don't know what's going on. So that was totally like a rough spot for me, but it all worked out. I prayed really, really hard, and I found a brand new copy editor. Shout out to Anne Victory, and they were phenomenal. They were so quick too. And yeah, it was just overall a great experience. So I am so thankful for the new copy editor that I got. They're an amazing editing team. And so I do want to say that, yes, there's some freelancers that, I don't know, hopefully that first freelancer, hopefully she's okay. I don't know what happened, but I do know that it was a couple authors just from her reviews that, yeah, got ghosted. So I don't know, I hope she's okay. And to the other one, my new copy editor, who's also a freelancer, she's phenomenal. So, I mean, I think there's good and bad in everything, but that was just kind of crazy for my publishing journey. I mean, it was rocky. Okay, the second thing in my author journey that was kind of crazy, but I want to shout out the Amazon reps because they helped me through it. So I put a sneak peek of book 2. So my first book is called The Snow Queen's Heir. It's a YA romantasy, and there are massive plot twists. Well, I put a sneak peek of chapter 1, book 2 in the very back of my book. And Amazon does this thing called sneak peek, where you can click on it and it'll show you a couple of pages and give you kind of a idea of what the book is like. Well, it included, I don't know if I am at fault for this because it does say chapter 1, book 2. So maybe it like threw it for a loop, the system, but it included all the spoiler and like the very end of my book. And it included like the sneak peek of book 2. And I was just like, oh no. So Amazon was great though. I contacted them. The reps were so sweet, so helpful, so professional, and we got it fixed. So they hid it for me. So don't worry, you no longer have to see any spoilers. But yeah, there was definitely some spoilers being shown, and it was like the biggest plot twist ever. So, because the end of my book has a massive plot twist. I mean, all my reviews talk about it. So yeah, it was just kind of funny. Number 3, if you are a writer, please learn from this mistake. NetGalley is a wonderful place where you can find reviewers. But if you don't pick the right reviewers, it can be the worst thing ever. As either the author or the publisher, you can look at their score. They should have a high score, meaning they generally give feedback. And the most important thing is they have an average rating. They should have somewhere around 3.8 or higher. Otherwise, do not approve them. If they are a critical reviewer, there are literally people that they tend to average books 2 stars, 2.5. Do not approve those people, because if they're ripping other authors' books to shred, they will rip your books to shreds. So do not approve them. I got on NetGalley and I made a huge mistake. I accepted, I think it was the first 150 people. Do not do that. Vet your readers. The reason why is some of my early reviews were so critical, but when I started looking at their profiles, I was like, well, of course you didn't like my book. You don't like young adult books. Or another one would be they don't like fantasy and my book is romantasy. So it's of course you didn't like my book. Or they're averaging 2.5, 2 stars. So it's well, of course you're giving my book 2 stars. So NetGalley, that was one of my biggest mistakes. Here's how you want to do things. Go for the book talk community, the Bookstagram community, and the booktube community. Those people tend to be book lovers, not book critics. So let them lead the reviews. If you're a writer and you are publishing your first book, please take this advice from me. I learned the hard way. Let the book lovers lead the reviews. Everybody is susceptible to critical reviews. Even New York Times bestsellers still get negative reviews, but you don't want that to be your early reviews. You want to give it to people who like your genre, tend to love the type of books that you're publishing. So for example, if I'm publishing a YA romantasy and someone only loves thrillers, that's not a good fit. I don't care if they 5-star, 4-star thrillers all day long. If they don't read YA romantasy, that's not going to be a good person to take my book on, because the reality is they probably don't like fantasy. Or if they list, because it lists their genres, you want to make sure it lists fantasy, romance, and make sure it matches so that it's not a bad match. Because if it's a bad match, they're going to review your book negatively. So learn from my mistake, make sure you pick the right readers, give the right readers access, and then that way you can avoid some of those negative reviews early on. Okay, so for the next thing, this was actually really hard for me. So I had what I would consider way too many PR box signups. My goal was to have 500 readers sign up. I did get 500 readers, and I was thinking the more the merrier. Well, I actually feel like it was way too many for signups. And the reason being is, so a lot of, maybe it's unique to me, I don't know. Maybe it's not, but I'm situated in the book community. I am a book talker, a booktuber, a bookstagrammer, and so these are my friends, and it did not feel good at all. I got my feelings hurt to the point of almost wanting to cry when I had to pick only 100 people. I wish I had the budget to give 500 books away. I don't. I only had the budget for about 100. And so it really hurt my feelings to have to decide who gets a PR box, who doesn't. So I feel like I really overdid it. Moving forward in the future, I think moving on, I would like to do much smaller PR packages, or much less, just because it just doesn't feel good when, your friends watching so-and-so and so-and-so get one, and not really, and the only reason that I didn't send it to them is because when I look at, their Goodreads or their book account, they generally like a different genre than me. It's not because they're not great content creators. It's not because I don't like them. It's not because I don't think that they make valuable content. It was genuinely just that I felt oh, well, hey, this is somebody that likes spicy dark romance, and mine is a no spice YA romantasy with fairy tale enemies to lover vibe. So it's they're probably not going to be the best match. Although I don't know, I did have some people that are spicy dark romance that read my book and were hey, this is not my normal genre, but I enjoyed it. I had a great time. So there's always exceptions, but yeah, it just didn't feel good having people sign up and then say no. It just, honestly, it made me feel like crap. And it really hurt my feelings to the point of me almost crying, which probably sounds stupid to you, but again, I'm situated in these communities, and so I know these people and I love them, and I wanted to give it to everybody. I genuinely so bad wanted to give it to everybody. It was impossible. And then the very last thing that was kind of tough for me in my very first debut publishing journey, I did not have any idea how many emails, messages, DMs, comments would come through. And I got so overwhelmed. It is the best problem to have, but it is also so overwhelming that there were times where I would just go lay in bed because my head would be spinning because I just felt like I have so many emails, I have so many people to respond to. There was times where I literally felt like, oh my gosh, I'm failing the readers. Like I am not doing enough. I'm not responding fast enough. Emails would just get dug under. To this day, I am still like digging out emails, trying to, clear this out and trying to, keep up with everything. But especially it happened when I sent out the NetGalley access link to everyone that was getting the digital ARC. That's when the emails started piling in, and I genuinely had no idea how difficult it is to keep up with the demand of so many emails. Nobody warned me how many emails, how many DMs, how many things. And again, I'm not complaining because this is a great problem to have, but it finally clicked in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is why all these authors have like these PAs and all these people that do like their emails and stuff, because this is nuts. And like, I consider myself a small emerging indie author, and so imagine somebody who's like doing like crazy sales, right? So yeah, it was just one of the things that nobody warned me about. So I hope I can inform you if you're a fellow writer, or if you're a reader just wondering why, like, hey, why does that one author take 3 weeks to get back to me? It's not because they're a jerk, it's because they're struggling. They're on the struggle bus. We are on the struggle bus. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything from this video, will you comment below, let me know what that is, or if you have any questions, I'm here happy to answer those. Let me know in the comments below. Also, I wanna say thank you for watching. If you would like to keep up with my author journey, please subscribe. I'm gonna be posting more content about things that will help fellow writers, or if you're a reader just wanting to learn more, or if you read my books, please join along for the journey. I really appreciate you.